The next AI agent upgrade is not just a bigger model, it is Rehearsal. That sounds almost silly. Anthropic is now being covered for letting Claude-style agents dream, not in the human, poetic sense, but in the practical sense. Simulate tasks, test strategies, and improve before being thrown into live work. Here is the part that matters. If an AI agent can use tools, move through apps, touch data, or make decisions across a workflow, then raw intelligence is only half the problem. The other half is judgment under weird conditions, and weird conditions are where real work lives. A normal demo is clean. The button is where it should be. The spreadsheet has friendly column names. The customer asks the obvious question. The database is not one click away from disaster. Real work is not like that. Real work has stale tabs, vague instructions, partial permissions, missing context, angry users, edge cases, and one terrifying button that absolutely should not be clicked. So the worldview shift is this. AI agents are starting to look less like chatbots with arms and more like junior employees who need a training room, not because they are human, they are not, but because once software can act, the important question changes. It is no longer, can it answer correctly? It becomes, can it behave safely when the situation gets messy? That is why the word dreaming is interesting, even if the branding is a little dramatic. The useful version is Rehearsal. Let the agent run practice scenarios. Let it encounter strange cases. Let it learn which shortcuts are dangerous. Let it build a playbook before it touches the real system. This also explains why so many agent stories feel contradictory right now. On one day, an AI coding agent looks magical. It writes code, fixes bugs, connects tools, and moves faster than a tired team at midnight. On another day, an agent wipes a production database in seconds, or gets tricked by a weird prompt, or burns a ridiculous number of tokens clicking around a website when an API would have been cheaper and safer. Those are not separate stories. They are the same story from two angles. Agents are powerful because they can act. Agents are risky because they can act, and that means the bottleneck is moving. It used to be model capability. Can the system understand the request, write useful code, or generate the right answer? Now the bottleneck is operational trust. Can it rehearse? Can it be evaluated? Can it fail in a sandbox before it fails in production? Can a team see why it chose a path? Can permissions stop it before ambition becomes damage? Think about how humans learn high-stakes jobs. Pilots use simulators. Surgeons train before operating. Security teams run tabletop exercises. We do not do that because humans are weak. We do it because the real world is expensive. AI agents are pushing software into the same logic. If the agent is going to touch your billing system, your code base, your customer records, or your compliance workflow, then it passed a benchmark is not enough. You want to know how it behaves when the instructions are incomplete, when two goals conflict, when the cheapest path is also the least safe path, when the user asks for something that sounds reasonable but violates a policy. That is the quiet verdict here. The future of agents may be less about giving them more autonomy and more about giving them better practice, boundaries, and review. The winners will not be the teams that simply deploy the most agents. The winners will be the teams that build the best training loops around them. That means sandboxes, simulated workflows, permission tiers, audit trails, red team scenarios, human checkpoints where the cost of a mistake is high. The awkward bit is that this makes AI agents feel less magical. A dreaming agent sounds futuristic. A rehearsed, sandboxed, evaluated agent sounds like enterprise plumbing. But that plumbing is the point. Because the real question is not whether AI agents can do impressive things when everything goes right. We already know they can. The real question is whether they can be trusted when the job gets weird. So do not only ask which model is smarter this week. Ask a more practical question. Where does this agent practice before it works? If there is no answer, then the demo is still a demo. And if there is a good answer, that may be where AI agents finally become something companies can use without holding their breath.